We went to California in 1962 in Dean's old Cadillac to see if we could make a living out there. It's not what I would advise the average family who thinks they can play bluegrass to do, because I have a feeling no matter what your luck was, you'd starve to death in Oklahoma City. We actually made it to California, and this is the story of the Dillards' luck. We had a recording contract within a month, and in 2 months we got a job on the Andy Griffith Show. Well, now, Kentucky people, I think, really like the Andy Griffith Show because that's getting close to home. And Andy was from North Carolina, and the whole set and everybody that was on it were people very much like us. So it got us work, but we had to do something else in between, and we had to get work in clubs, which meant we had to entertain California audiences who had never seen anything like us in their lives. And one of the things that enabled us to do that, this is something Rodney and I did. We thought, why don't we make up a song about moonshine whiskey? Back home, you don't do that. They've got plenty of that. California people, however, moonshine was a romantic thing, like you drink out of a martini glass, all clear and everything. They didn't think about them getting so drunk you'd have to hang out of the grass to lean against the ground, which is more where moonshine's at. Rodney and I knew an old man that made moonshine whiskey, and he made up the tune, and I wrote the words for this, and we changed the name to protect the guilty because he might get arrested back home if he had a song in his own honor. And he had a good business, he made good whiskey, and he always carried a snake with him. Because we're kind of a religious community back there, and people don't drink unless they've been snake bit. And he didn't have to take a chance on it, Like the little town of Bunker down south of us, they only had one old snake, and they just wore it out. I mean, it was gumming people and stuff. So he'd take his snake around, and he'd sell us a bunch of moonshine whiskey. Well, I thought that's kind of funny. They'd get a kick out of hearing about that. And so Rodney and I, the more we got going with this story, the more we added to it, till after the years, we told everything about the whole family, everything they did. He had 2 daughters that helped him with the still. What we refer to back home, being kind about it, is big woolly girls. There's an Ozark saying, type of girl, if you lifted up one arm, 2 bats, and a whippoorwill would fly out. You kind of understand where the type was. We made up a tune about this old man because he was the only person in Salem that had never gone to jail for making moonshine whiskey. Half of the other people had. I even had a time or two. This old man had never gone to jail. He was very careful, and people respected him. It wasn't they didn't know he was making moonshine. Of course, everybody knew. He'd back his truck up to the only store in town every Saturday and load 500-pound sacks of sugar in the back of it. And they knew he wasn't making fudge up there. At any rate, this song has lasted a long time, and so have we, so have a little damn respect for both of us. This is called Dooley.
Good old man that lived below the mill. Dooley had 2 daughters and a 40-gallon still. One gal watched the boiler, the other watched the spout. Mama corked the bottles when old Dooley fetched them out. Dooley slipping up a holler, Dooley trying to make a dollar. Dooley, give me a swaller and a payback someday. Now Dooley was a trader. When into town he'd come, sugar by the bushel and molasses by the drum. Revenuers came for him slipping through the woods, but Dooley kept behind them all and never lost his goods. Dooley slipping up a holler. Dooley, trying to make a dollar. Dooley, give me a swaller and a payback someday. Now I remember very well the day old Dooley died. Women folk looked sorry and the men stood around and cried. Now Dooley's on the mountain, he lies there all alone. They put a jug beside him and a barrel for a stone. Dooley, slipping up the holler. Dooley, trying to make a dollar. Dooley, give me a swaller and a payback someday. And a payback someday.